Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Golden State Warriors are being linked to Pelicans forward Zion Williamson. A high-level and differentiated star can change the course of Warriors in the championship. Zion Williamson could be available for trade and the Warriors are a candidate to sign him. Even if he has health problems, the Warriors can restore the young player's self-esteem and prestige. Are the Warriors in a position to sign Zion Williamson? Yes, there are several packages that can be sent to the Pelicans. The Warriors have about $40 million in expiring contracts, which could match Williamson's salary and give New Orleans long-term salary flexibility. They also have 3 tradable future first-round picks and valuable young players like Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, and Tracy Jackson-Davis. It's no secret that betting on the Warriors' short and long-term future on Williamson would come with significant risk. Williamson put up incredible numbers, averaging 24.6 points, 6.6 rebounds, 4.2 assists and 1.0 steal per game, and was clearly an impact player when healthy. However, the 24-year-old has only appeared in at least 30 games in a season twice in his 6-year career. Given Williamson's unique situation, executives speculated that the best offer the Pelicans would receive would come from a rebuilding team hoping to jumpstart their window of contention by taking a chance on Williamson. Still, it's hard to imagine a team without proven talent betting their presumably top draft picks on this. If Williamson ends up on the block, the Warriors appear to be at a time when they should be most desperate and should have multiple avenues to get a deal done. Published an article on Tuesday detailing what New Orleans should do with the 24-year-old. While Williamson has shown flashes of talent, they've been few and far between as most of his career has been spent in street clothes recovering from various injuries. It's a far cry from his collegiate days, where he looked like the best athlete in the country at Duke, and earned himself the first overall pick in the 2019 draft. Among the potential solutions to the Williamson conundrum outlined in the article is to trade him away. The number of teams champing at the bit to bring him onto their respective rosters might be at an all-time low. Williamson has been nursing a hamstring injury since early November that has kept him off the floor, but Golden State was described as a logical fit for Williamson. Advertisement. Article continues below this ad. While no specific trade package was mentioned, the article does note that the Dubs have Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Andrew Wiggins, and 3 first-round picks as trade assets to make the move. The exchange would likely require them to trade away a big contract, such as Wiggins, since the Warriors' luxury tax level requires them to send out at least as much payroll as they bring in. It's not the first time that ESPN suggested such a union. ESPN talking head Kendrick Perkins suggested this idea as well on Christmas. When you think about the Warriors, you've got to get a guy that's going to move the needle, he said. I'm looking at a guy like Zion Williamson. Low risk for high reward. And when I say low risk, you know he has one of the most unique contracts in NBA history. When it comes down to a team or whoever has him, they could waive him at the end of the season. So why not take a chance on a guy like Zion? The former center then added, I feel like Zion in Golden State would be a different Zion Williamson. He needs to be around greatness. Advertisement. Article continues below this ad. It certainly sounds nice in theory. When healthy, Williamson is one of the most dominant players in basketball. The problem is he's hardly healthy to begin with, including at this very moment. If the goal of bringing a superstar to the Warriors is to get the most out of Steph Curry's waning prime, then surely the goal should be to nab someone who's likely to actually play alongside him. Never mind the fact that he's another ball-dominant player who could cannibalize Curry's offensive opportunities. At the same time, the Warriors are in quite a hole. After flirting with the top seed in the Western Conference, they've fallen to become a .500 team that has lost 7 of their last 10 games, and won just 4 games this month. Maybe when you're struggling that much, even the more desperate plans can seem appealing. Stephen Curry remains popular with fans. The Golden State Warriors have been perfectly mediocre through the opening portion of the 2024-25 NBA season, currently sitting at an even 16-16 ahead of Thursday night's game versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Stephen Curry has seen his play taper off slightly this year, no longer putting up Herculean stat lines as consistently as he was during previous junctures of his career. Still, this slight drop-off evidently hasn't diminished Curry's popularity among NBA fans, as it was recently revealed that he came in third place in the Western Conference All-Star initial fan vote, behind only Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder and Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. There are still more rounds of fan voting left to go, and Doncic's prolonged injury absence could increase Curry's chances of earning a starting nod if that Mavericks superstar is unable to go. The All-Star Game this year is slated to take place in the Warriors' home arena, the Chase Center, in San Francisco, which would give an added layer of meaning to Curry potentially starting the game. Can the Warriors get back on track? Similar to the 2023-24 season, the Warriors got off to a hot start to this campaign, quickly racing up the Western Conference standings with some elite play from Curry and solid contributions from supporting pieces like Buddy Hield. However, Hield has cooled off as of late, and the Warriors as a whole have seen their production fall off of a cliff, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Various injury absences, including Curry himself, have contributed to that, as has some significant regression from second-year guard Brandon Podziemski. The Warriors recently attempted to rectify some of these issues by swinging a trade with the Brooklyn Nets for point guard Dennis Schroeder at a relatively low price, but the move hasn't made any immediate dividends so far, as Schroeder has struggled through the first few games in his new threads. Still, there is time for the Warriors to turn things around, as well as to potentially swing another trade for more help. Rumors: Warriors receiving a lot of trade interest in Tracy Jackson-Davis. The Golden State Warriors are expected to operate aggressively in pursuit of another star to pair with Stephen Curry. Names like Jimmy Butler and Zion Williamson are commonplace in trade rumors, but it's also worth paying attention to which Golden State players are generating interest in the marketplace. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the front office have done a nice job of stockpiling draft picks and young talent to dangle in potential trades. One name garnering a lot of external interest, per Jake Fisher of Bleacher Report, is second-year big man Tracy Jackson-Davis. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise. The 24-year-old went from a late second-round pick to a regular rotation cog as a rookie. He has built on that success in year 2, averaging 8.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 62.5% shooting across 18.2 minutes. Jackson-Davis has started in 22 of 29 appearances for Golden State. Despite his smallish frame and lack of perimeter skill, Jackson-Davis offers a ton of valued traits in the front court. His explosive finishes, rapid-fire processing, and sound fundamentals are natural draws for contenders and rebuilding teams alike. Warriors can wait until next summer to make a big trade. Although the team is in a bad shape, having lost 13 of the last 17 games, details could play out in early February. This is because Schroeder, recently arrived, can only be changed from the 5th of that month. Your salary can be a key part of a business, as Fisher explained. Dennis Schroeder will be part of a big trade from the Warriors. So his $12.5 million salary will be important when looking for a player like Jimmy Butler, who earns $48 million. In fact, Schroeder makes $13 million on an expiring contract, which would be perfect to replace DeAnthony Melton following his season-ending injury. Only 3 Warriors players are paid more than that: Stephen Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. Of these, Curry will not be traded, and cannot, while Green should not leave either. Schroeder was bad in his 7 games with the Warriors. The German played more than 26 minutes in all of them, and was a starter. However, after averaging 18 points and 6 assists with the Brooklyn Nets, Schroeder is recording 8.7 points and 4 assists while shooting just 16.7% from 3.